So Shyne has chimed in on some of the Diddy stuff. Um, Shyne says, we spoke about the producer who's suing Diddy a while ago, who didn't get the credits on the Love album and all of that. And so there's a couple of things that have come from that. And part of that is the young lady who was shot in the face. At least that's what was said. If that's wrong, I apologize. That's the information that came out. That she came forward and said she was not shot by Shyne. And so Shyne was asked about it recently, and he went in. He went in and said, I have always maintained my innocence.
Yeah.
No forensic evidence was done. I did not shoot that woman. I was the fall guy. Everybody knows I was the fall guy.
Yeah.
And he snitched. He basically, I believe that's snitching. I believe he went on camera and said it was Diddy. He yeah.
No, go ahead.
He said it wasn't me. It was never me. There's always guns around, and there will always be guns around when that person is around. And so he did everything except say the words, Diddy shot her, not me. But he did everything around that.
You think that's a bad thing?
What do I think? What is a bad thing?
Because you refer to it as snitching. So I'm asking, snitching has a negative connotation. So I'm saying the way he approached this, what he said, do you think it's bad? What he said, do you think he shouldn't have done it?
I don't think he should have done it. We just saw you a year or so ago on stage with Diddy at the BT Hip Hop Honors or whatever it was when Diddy won the Lifetime Achievement Award. And y'all were hugged up and singing together. So what's this? I'm confused. Also, who cares? You served your time. All right, I see both sides about who cares. I won't
You
say
said
who
who cares, and I was like, well, I think a lot of people would
Well, my
care
thing
because
is,
this speaks to this speaks to character, this speaks to
yeah, but
credibility, and I think there are a lot of things at play right now when it comes to Diddy, where there are a lot of questions about the things that he does and the way that he moves. And I think that anything that someone says that is damning in some way has an effect on how we view him and it also calls to question some of the things he's categorically denied everything that he has been accused of. So when you hear from insiders, people who were actually there, people who actually experienced whatever was going on whenever they were around, it is really hard to, for me at least, it's really hard to just say, well, who cares, or this thing is insignificant, or this thing doesn't matter, because of the fact that we have this whole roster of things that he is alleged to have done. And every time somebody corroborates one of these stories, it chips away at his credibility. And the reality is, if he has been abusive towards people, if he has done things that are heinous and that should warrant jail time, I don't know how we count out something that Shyne says. I also think I understand the side of it where it's like, oh, if you serve the time, then you shouldn't snitch. I hear that, but also we don't know what else Shyne saw or what else Shyne was privy to or who else Shyne was close to that Diddy may have done something to. And I can totally see someone who was on the inside and maybe felt a certain way or a certain affection towards people that were affected being like, well, I did the time. He can't technically go to jail for this thing that I already served time for. But if I'm being honest, there are the questions that y'all have are valid questions. To me, that's what Shyne was doing. I think Shyne was kind of giving a little, y'all are not exactly wrong in asking these questions or trying to figure out what the truth is when it comes to some of this stuff about him. I'm not here to say whether that's right or wrong, but I do understand it.
Yeah. I was so I shouldn't have said who cares. But what's difficult for me,
Mm-hmm.
I see the perspective of what you're saying. Let me start there. I do see that perspective. But I also see another perspective where Shine, you were just with him, hugged up and singing. Shine, you are now a politician and a leader. And there's been many years
Mm-hmm.
from 1999 when this happened until now.
Mm-hmm.
Why now?
You think Shyne feels safe now?
I don't know what he feels now. I'm curious as to why now. It makes it look like, hey, the Drake situation again. It makes it look like, hey, everybody's jumping that guy. Hey, let me get my shit off too. Hold on. Because I've been holding this one back since 99. So let me get my shit off too.
The reason I ask about safety is because I think something that we've been hearing, a common theme, is that um, there's a lot of alleged retaliation
Okay.
for people who speak out, for people who have tried to, say things publicly about Diddy, or people who have said things privately about him or done things privately to him or whatever it is. We've heard a lot about things being done in retaliation, whether they're true or not,
Yep.
we don't know. But
I want to say all
allegedly,
allegations, right?
there are allegations of him retaliating or using other people to retaliate against others. So, is there a world where, because Shyne is a politician now, because Shyne has certain connections now, is it possible that this now he feels safe to speak about those things because he doesn't think that um, he thinks that the risk is lesser than it was when he was in prison or when he was trying to rebuild his life? Maybe he's in a position where he doesn't feel like he has to look over his shoulder. I don't know. I'm just asking. These are things that have crossed my mind in thinking about this. So it's not to say that I know that for sure, but it's just a question. Like, I could see that being a possibility.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's possible, sure, but the optics look bad. It looks bad when so many years later you're saying this. You're basically snitching on him publicly now.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks a lot like, hey, this guy's under fire. I'm gonna get my licks in too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, you ever seen footage of like people getting jumped and then like somebody's on the floor getting jumped, that one person comes out of nowhere and just starts kicking them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
That's that's what this is starting to seem like. With Kanye jumping in with Drake,
Yeah.
with Shyne doing this, it looks like, hey, the person I'm not a fan of is getting jumped. Their ship might be sinking in their mind, not mine. I'm saying the mentality.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna get my licks off.
No, I
I
understand.
think it's weird. I don't think he should have done it. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly he felt he needed to. I just think it looks really, really weird. We just saw you hugged up and singing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big moment for hip hop.
Okay. Excuse me. Resentment is real.
Sure.
He lost a lot of years of his life. So I'm not saying I
Yeah, but
agree.
let's look at the
I,
flip side. Would Shine be the person he is today without that?
but at what cost? I mean, I'm not.
I'm just
Here's
asking.
the thing. I'm not saying that I agree with Shyne or not. All I'm saying is I could see these things being possibilities, but I also don't think. I don't know that I agree with. Oh, like, you know. your life would be. Look at where your life is now after all of this. Look at where your life is now after going to prison for me. Is that the bar? Like, is,
If
you know
Shyne,
what I
let
mean?
me be clear. Yes, but I'm saying this
Because
too.
that's
I'm saying this. Let me be clear. I'm not saying Shyne should have went to prison if he didn't do this. If someone did not commit a crime, they should not be in prison. Period. But my point is, you are this politician and this figure today largely because of this experience. So, as fucked up as this experience is, it's also part of why you are where you are today.
but maybe he could have been somewhere else if that hadn't happened to him. Like
All right, I'll
maybe
leave it there. I don't want to argue the what ifs because you're right. There is another what if, but then we just go down the what if rabbit hole. No pun intended.
okay.
I just think it's weird. That's where I leave it. I don't think he should have did it. I think it looks bad. We just saw you hugged up with him. It was a big moment for hip hop, a big moment for Diddy, a big moment for BT, all of those things.
Hmm.
And now you're publicly saying you're saying everything except the words Diddy shot her.
Okay.
I don't think he should have did that. And that's it for me.
Dude,
So you think he should or should not have done it?
I don't know. That's what I was saying before. I don't have an opinion on whether he should or should not have. I don't know what the history is there outside of knowing that he's saying that he didn't do this thing, and there have been other people who have come out and said that he didn't do it, that Diddy was the one who did it. That's been out there for a while, but as far as whether he should have spoken that truth, I don't know. Like I don't know what the like I said, there are other things attached to Diddy at this point that are egregious, or allegations that are egregious, things that people have said that he's done, things that people have filed lawsuits against him for having done. So I don't know that when Shyne comes out and says what he says, I don't know that it's selfish. I don't know that it's self serving. It could very well be that it's not self serving so much as it is, these things are coming to light. And if what I say makes a difference or has some sort of impact, then I'm going to say it. I don't know. He didn't take a stand. He didn't take a stance and say, well, this is why I'm saying this. He just said it. So I don't know. I don't live by a street code. Um, Personally, do I think loyalty is important? Sure. But I also think that where does where does loyalty start and end? Because if I went to prison for you, I was loyal to you. You know what I mean? And
So it's over when you come out.
that's not what I was gonna say. Um, what I was gonna say is I don't know what he's done. I don't know what Diddy's done on his side. Like I don't know what. That's why I said I don't know what the history is. Has he helped him set up his life? Is he like I don't know any of that. I don't know any of
Gotcha.
that. I think it would be wrong of me to make the assumption that like, okay, you agreed to do this thing and now you take it to your grave, but has this person continued to do right by you? Because a lot of the things that people say about Diddy is that he's actually kind of shitty. Even Little Kim has talked about how she felt like she couldn't call upon him, or like he kind of left her by the wayside when she had her issues. So I don't know. Um I don't know what he was doing or what impact he made on Shine's life um after Shyne went to prison. And there might be a whole lot. He seems like the type of person who probably throws money at a lot of problems. So maybe he did help Shyne get set up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have those facts, and I don't want to make assumptions off of things that I don't know. So I'm indifferent about it.
Got you.